Hi everyone, it's Diane with SewBatik, and I'm really excited today to share with you two different patterns from Itch to Stitch and our batik rayon, cotton, linen, and canvas. I'm going to start by talking about the Comillas dress. Last week I shared with you all the details about the new pattern. She just launched this a couple weeks ago. And then I shared with you all the nitty gritty little details about how to lay out the pattern pieces for 45-inch wide batik rayon, 54-inch wide batik linen, and a really, really fun fabric, which is our 115-inch wide batik cotton that has a border on it. And so hopefully you've watched that episode, but if you haven't and are interested in the Comillas dress, definitely take a moment and listen to that so you know exactly what yardage you need for every single option, because not all fabrics are 54 inches wide. And so I want to make sure that I make it easy for you to lay things out on fabrics of different widths. But to talk about the Comillas dress, I want to share with you again some of the features about this dress just to kind of bring us up to date. This dress is a multi-tiered dress option. So we have a skirt. Actually, I'm just going to use the model that I have right here. And I selected and made my first dress out of our Batik Rayon. This is the 45-inch wide rayon. And this is Medora Flora in the shade of Delft. So the dress has a beautiful bodice that's kind of a high-waisted finish. It has a simple closure, which is a V closure, but it has a really simple facing to it. There are sleeves that are sort of inset slightly with a gathered edge. And then the neckline also has slight gatherings. The main feature, I think, about this dress isn't necessarily the fact that it has really flowy ruffles and fullness to it, but that it has a really simple waistline that has 3 rows of elastic, and it's a 1/4-inch elastic that we thread with a pin going all the way around the bodice and the back of the garment, and there's 3 individual rows. And I have to say that at first I thought to myself, well, why don't we just use a wider elastic and really make something else the more of the feature of this dress? But I read several different reviews from several of the pattern testers, and I think a couple people did that, where they tested it with a wider elastic and found it to be a little restrictive, where when you have 3 separate rows of elastic, you still get the fullness and you still get that gathered, nice, delicate gathered look to it without the pinching, because wide elastic can sometimes pinch on you when you bend or turn. And I just think it was really clever to use the 3 rows of elastic. It might take a little bit of time to actually stitch those rows and put your elastic through. That does take a little bit of time to do, but the results are absolutely worth it. There are side seam pockets. It's kind of a teardrop pocket set inside. And then the skirt portion of the dress starts up at the top of the elastic, and it goes down to just below your hip line. And then we have 1 or 2 rows of ruffles, but I selected to make a longer dress. So I have the second tier is what is considered, there's the skirt, the second tier, and the third tier of ruffles. It is quite full, and I would say that the other thing that takes the most time with this garment is the amount of gathering stitches that you need to have and take the time to do properly around both the second tier and the third tier of the dress. The second tier itself is, I don't know what percentage wider it would be, but there are 2 different panels that are gathered so that you match your side seams and the front and the back of the dress to make sure that everything is gathered properly. The third tier is actually 3 panels of fabric going around, and it's slightly longer than the second tier. So it is really a very beautiful, elegant dress, and it's intended to fit and to sit higher. It's hard when you put things on these generic mannequins to show exactly how they're going to sit, but I just think it's gorgeous. And I'll put up here a little video of me twirling around so that you can see what this looks like on me. And I am 5'7", and so you'll see kind of how long the dress fit on me. And I was only wearing sandals that might have had 1.5 inch heel to it. I did take two inches off the length of the third tier because I just felt like I was swimming in fabric. And so I wanted to bring it up just slightly and pull that yardage in a little bit higher on my ankle. So the garment itself really isn't, you know, for if you're a beginning sewist, I would not hesitate to make this garment. I think it's just simply, for me, it is not something that you're going to sit down and start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and finish by 7, because it does have a little bit of that work to do the gathering and to put your elastic in each one of the casings. But otherwise, it is a very, very fun, well designed, and beautifully constructed dress. The other thing that I learned, and I might actually do a little bit of a video on this because I have never done this before, but it was really clever, is up in the neckline area, right up in here, when you run your gathering stitches, we're matching that gathering stitch to 2 positions that are on the facing that goes around the top of our neckline. But in order to secure those gathers so that they don't move when you're putting a facing on, or it's kind of like a binding facing, she used fusible interfacing or fusible stay tape to keep that gather in place. Now, many of you have probably done that for years. I have, first of all, never seen that in a pattern, and I am going to do that from now on. That is just a brilliant way to keep the thread from moving and to keep everything secure. So that was a lesson learned for me anyway. But I don't know what else I can share about the dress. I think for me, the rayon for a longer version of this dress felt a bit heavy. It is soft, though. It is such a soft fabric that it just feels so nice on you. And so I really, really love this dress. And I don't wear dresses a lot, but I love this dress. And I'm going to make a second one out of our batik linen, and maybe I'll do some of the construction in a video format so I can share some of the little snippets of that. But I am going to make a batik linen and only a 2-tier, so it's going to end right at my knee, because I really think that the style fits beautifully, and I don't know, it's a really pretty dress. So hopefully you will take an opportunity to make this dress for yourself, because you can make it, depending on the fabric that you choose, you can make it to be as casual as you would like for any day wear, or you can make it formal. Could be a beautiful dress to wear to a wedding or a formal affair. The second project I want to talk about today is the Deba Topper. Again, itch to stitch. She has been so amazingly generous. This pattern is free. So if you are looking for a simple topper, you really have to go over to her website and download this pattern and stitch it up. I did exactly that yesterday. I looked around the office for, what do I have that's pre-washed? I have to make this jacket really super fast. And I did, and I selected, and I'm wearing this jacket, I selected our Batik Canvas, and it's a 5-ounce canvas, so it's our lighter weight canvas. I kind of thought maybe it would be too heavy, but it isn't in any way, shape, or form. I just love the structure. I liked how it came together so perfectly with the canvas. And I think it's going to be something you're absolutely going to love. So if you're a new sewist and just need a jacket that you want to just put on over a tank top or a short sleeve top just to add a little bit of warmth and coziness, even if it's for an evening, it is perfect. If you're wearing a dress, and again, a tea dress or a short sleeve dress, and you're outside and you decide it's just, you need a little bit of a cover, this is the perfect jacket for that. And a topper, but jacket, because it also has a very elegant front. It has a simple loop and button finish to it. So you can make this as fancy or as understated as you'd like it to be. There are two lengths to this topper. There is the cropped length, which is what I did sew for myself. I wanted to start with the shorter length. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. But I am wearing another itch to stitch top underneath. It's a tank top. And I'm wearing it because it shows exactly what 3 more inches would look like. So if I had a jacket that was 3 more inches long, it would be the longest length of the jacket in this pattern. And it has this really neat hemline to it. Shirt tail hemline. And it's just a simple pattern to sew. So again, I'm not going to do a step-by-step tutorial, but if you have questions about any of the steps in this pattern or think that you would like me to go through it for you, I am more than happy to do that. So give me a comment below if you're looking for assistance on this garment. But I do want to show you each one of the pattern pieces so that you can see that it really doesn't have very much to it. It's just a simple, simple make. The front of the garment, and here you can see the sleeve extension, and there is a dart, and you have the option of selecting whatever cup size you would like that fits you the best. And again, if I didn't mention this, this is sizes 0 to 40. And I have printed, this is the pattern for the cropped length. Here's our neckline and the front facing with our notches for where we position the loop and the button. I guess it's just the loop, the button you add after the fact. And then with that front piece, we also have our front facing, which is complete. And here's the loop. I actually just pin it to my facing so I don't lose it. But this is attached completely to the front of your garment, turned completely inside. We have a neck facing as well, which is your back neck facing. And both of these together then, we fold the edge under and we top stitch all the way around to secure it. Simple. The back pattern piece is again our extended arm opening, our side seams, which have a curve, and then it's placed on this, it's placed on the center fold. And you can see the hemline and how it curves into that shirt tail hemline. But again, it's really, really simple to hem. The recommended hem is a 1/4 inch turn, press, 1/4 inch turn, top stitch. I did use my serger and serged the shoulder seams and the side seams. Everything else is inside your garment, so you don't see it. It's all inside, and it's just beautifully finished. And I really do like the canvas. I think it is the right weight for what I was looking to do. And I have a couple of ideas on other versions of this. I do have, I've cut some yardage for a batik linen version of this, and I'm going to make, you're going to think I'm kind of strange, but I am going to quilt up 2 pieces of cotton with some wool. I'm going to do a cute little simple quilting design on it, and I'm going to use that when I'm a little extra chilled in the office or at home when I'm doing something, just to put on that doesn't restrict my arms. Even if I have a long sleeve shirt on, having something that's pre-quilted with a simple button that I can just put on over something is going to be great. I'm probably going to have to change the sizing of it to be maybe 1 size larger to account for anything like a turtleneck or a sweater that I might have on underneath it. But I'm going to give it a shot and see how it turns out. And I'll update you on the progress of that particular project. So this is, let me summarize here. This is the Deba, I think I'm saying that right. That's another place in Spain. Topper, the Deba Topper, and it is a free download pattern from Itch to Stitch. We also have the link to this pattern within our items description for 2 of our fabric packs. I put together a fabric pack for our canvas and for our batik linen. And if you have a need or would like me to put together something for the Batik Rayon or any other of our batik fabric collections, let me know in the comments below, and I will do the math on the layout of each one of those fabric widths as well. I do know, though, I did some math. I printed out the pattern layout all the way up to, let's see, I did for the DD cup for a size 40. I always need to verify whether or not the width of the back piece, which is placed on the fold, will fit on our 45-inch wide fabric when it's folded in half. And it makes it. It really makes it. So I think we just need to increase the yardage of what we'll need to make our Deba Topper for sizes 28 to 40. But I'll do the math if you want me to do the math. So let me know in the comments below. I have just had such a fantastic time this past week or two working with the Itch to Stitch patterns. And so in our newsletter today, I really featured Kenna from Itch to Stitch and all of the different fabric packs that we have on our website specifically for her patterns. So take a look at those fabric packs. We did a little bit of a special. We did 15% additional savings on those packs. And that special will go through this next Tuesday, which is August, my goodness, what is it? 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, August 6th at midnight. But I'll send you a reminder on August 6th so you don't miss out on the savings. And whatever you're doing this weekend, whether it's inside or outside, keep sewing, smiling, and rooting for the USA in the Olympics. Keep sewing, smiling, and sharing.